just this article was shared with me by a friend and from boot campers. So I would like to say that Kenya has recently rolled out this particular drug to 1,400 patients. And this particular drug it's specifically for this type of failure. And on this data set of people, I didn't see any or much about 100 people only were resistant to INIs. So that means there are people who are getting drug resistance to this particular failure, this particular failure, which is like another level of drug resistance they are getting. That's it. And some facts about the drugs which are right now in the market, and these are specific to first generation, second generation, and I don't have a knowledge about third generation. Maybe somebody can help me out to fill up that. And there are some ART drugs. And these are the failures. As soon as they have some failures, they will go to these second generations. Voila. Thanks.
Switch it off first.
gentlemen, let's continue. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. Next to the more artistic side act that we have provided with Jill, we also have two famous comedians.
Two famous comedians.
Pepe and Cocky. No. I would like you to introduce to you the team from Explodata. Explodata has been following the workshops that we have done until now and has been participating to different hackathons that we organized. So whenever Irene is ready, we can then start and continue. Irene.
The queen of digitizer.
The queen of digitizer. Okay, what I was going to say is that Explodata here is up next. Without any presentation, they're just going to talk about their experience in participating to the hackathon and explain why it's important for a consulting organization to be with that kind of dynamic movement.
Thank you, Philip. So no one in life, no one has ever complained about life is too short. Actually, everyone is complaining life is too short, but no one has ever complained about a presentation that is too short, so we're going to keep it very brief. We still have no idea who put us on this stage tonight, but anyway, we're Explodata. We're a data science consultant company, heavily involved with the nice workings here at Digitizer. 2 years ago, we participated at the Dengue Hackathon as our real first experience with such a case. And we were lucky enough to win that storytelling prize, so we were very grateful about that. When we heard about the HIV drug resistance hackathon, we immediately thought this one is not a chance we have to grab. We will be collecting people in our company as well as outside of our company as well. So essentially what we're looking for, we have some kind of data science related experience in all kinds of background domains. What we lack is people that are heavily involved with these workshops, with these kind of domain expertise, but also people with bright ideas. So as for now, we have about 7 people who are willing to participate in the hackathon. So we are looking for 1-2 more people to join us so that we can form 2 teams, essentially doubling our chances of winning a prize. So it would be very nice if our people that are still looking for a team can team up with us to do that. That would be very great. 2 years ago, we had this approach to tackle it globally. It was about dengue at a global scale. This time, we don't know yet whether we will be looking at it globally or focus on one country. All these options are open. So that's the approach we're still following. We're still keeping all doors open. And essentially, we're looking for people that are still searching a team, want to team up with us. We have some bright ideas as well. If Jean-Jo wants to talk about that, he can now.
Won't talk about the bright ideas, but maybe I could go into more details about what we can offer. So, as Martin said, we are 6 or 7 people. We all working in data science, so we have very good knowledge in R, in Python. Data visualization is what we do every day. We work with the cloud all the time, so AWS is not a problem. And so if you come with, people with ideas, we are happy to discuss with them and to maybe do something all together. So we need you, and we're trying to offer something to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So technology is not an issue.
No.
I have to take the mic away from him, otherwise he will continue forever. I mean, we organized the text mining workshop during the DI Summit on already with this hackathon in mind. They had a 2-hour session on text mining. So these are the people that you could talk to when you have a text mining issue, if you want to read the PDF automatically and create a database. These are the guys. And Jean-Jo was last year as in the data science bootcamp. So if you have questions about the data science bootcamp, you can talk to Jean-Jo. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
Well, two teams. That's because they're limited to 4. Otherwise, we would have said 1 6. The more the merrier, as we say.
We're still open for all kinds of yeah. We experienced during the hackathon 2 years ago that our IDs changed up until maybe 1 hour before the deadline.
It's like Philip said, like you come back Saturday morning, you come with a presentation at 9 o'clock and they say like, it's never gonna work. Someone's gonna say like, forget about it, change something, try something different. And that's what we need. We need to be versatile and be able to, to change things. And techniques is to be able to create something new in a very short time is what you need.
Okay. Thank you very much, gentlemen. So we've seen presentation from Johnson & Johnson with Jenny and Annalise. I'm from Digitizer, and you've just met the guys from Explodata. If you're from a company and you want a logo in here, you are more than welcome to add your logo there. But now I'm going to pass the mic to Elewa, which is our training partner here at Digitizer, and who comes with a long experience in pedagogy and how to do projects. Jente from Elewa.
Thank you. Hi everyone. I also talked here last hackathon, but maybe for people who don't know me, I'm Jente. I'm the founder of Elewa, one of the founders at least. And we're actually a company active in Kenya, where we're supporting teachers with how to deliver education in such a way that truly connects with students, and that brings society also into the 21st century. That's also what we are doing here at Digitizer. We are giving trainings on, for example, software engineering. We're also looking into another whole range of high-tech training programs we are developing, also to just prepare society for the changes that are coming in 21st century. Now, why we are actually on here is what Philip is also asking me to talk about. So actually, we are supporting the hackathon and this whole process in 2 ways. The first of all is the fact we are mostly active in Kenya, so we have a lot of connections there. I saw a lot of projects. I think I saw 3 that are focusing on the country of Kenya. If you want more information, if you need some connections there, talk to us. If you want to learn more about the country, we'll be happy to tell you. I think this weekend I connected Aless to one of our people actually that works at Elewa in Kenya, just to give her some stories about, she had some questions about what is the culture like, and she wanted someone actually from there to have a one-on-one specifically to brainstorm about these ideas. Those are things we can arrange, and there's a lot of people over there happy to also tell you their story. Another thing we will also be doing from our own experience in project management and consulting is actually support data scientists and some data science teams with the delivery of their project. In what does it actually mean concretely? We'll be together with Philippe hosting some workshops where we're going to look at projects and them, like truly digest them and prepare them, like for what would a project like this, what would it take to prepare a project like this for the hackathon? Or what would it take to prepare a project like this for well, for truly being able to come up with a solution. So some of the ideas we're also having and are discussing with Philip also is to, for example, have a workshop on how do we deliver ideas. Once I've seen that as yeah, a topic that came up here a lot during this session. Like, we can develop our solutions, we can find a problem, we can develop solutions for it, but how do we actually translate that problem into something the people that it's actually serving, the solution, the people that the solution is actually serving, can serve those people. And to do that, you'll need to actually take the problem and be a bridge, build a bridge between your expert domain knowledge, your solution, and the people that are in the field, the people the solution will actually serve. So those are things we are looking into, helping to support this whole this whole happening, and we're happy to also be able to be a part of supporting this endeavor. Thank you.
Let me introduce Mathieu here. Mathieu is a young data scientist.
Yes. Hello, I'm Mathieu, and I'm gonna help people on Saturday at least with whatever technical problems we may have.
So that was Mathieu. And that was to allow Duke to come on stage now. Duke is also a boot camper. He was there in the first boot camp and joining us now as the older brother. And he decided to present two different types of projects that could be done. And I'm very interested to know what he'll be presenting. Do we give him the yeah. So here is Duke. Yeah.
I have to put this in my pocket. Hello? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will try to be as brief as possible. I know everyone here has had such a long day. So I'm Duke Assam, and I would be looking at this idea of HIV drug resistance from two different approaches. So what's the problem? The world is faced today with the issue of HIV drug resistance, and what I realize is that if you move from one country to another, the problem seems to look like something else as you move from one region to another. Talking about the case of Kenya, for example, we realize that they have like quite a lot of like cultural issues, like they have traditions, they are still tribes that are practicing, that have practices that put most of the population at risk to attracting HIV or maybe HIV resistant viruses. So to tackle this, I would be using so the why is it a problem, which I just explained, and where would be Kenya, and how I'm trying to use two approaches. So my first approach would be like to find who are the key players in, for example, in this case in Kenya, who are the people who have been doing all the researches, who are the people who have been writing articles, because that is the only way that if we can find like these key influencers and see what they have been writing about, this would help to give us some insight about what are the key factors that are affecting that specific country. And this would also help us to get reliable information. This would also help us to get people on the ground whom we can be able to contact to get more vital information if needed. On the other hand, I would like to approach it by also making a prediction model where we can be able to identify hotspots and
to create a model that can be scalable, that can be transferable, so we can apply it to another country, and it works, and get something reliable and which is also informative. And what do I need? I trying to, for the moment, finding more predictive features. So, for example, if we talk about Kenya, I want to see, for example, how far are the hospitals from the people? How many hospitals are there in a county? Is it representative of the population of HIV drug-resistant patients in that county? This kind of information can help us to get more and more insights about why the virus is, why the drug-resistant cases are increasing. So, what are the future steps? I've been trying to collect as much data as possible that can act as proxies for some of these key factors that can give an indication of the drug-resistant cases in Kenya. So climate data could be an interesting issue. For example, like Kenya is a country that has 2 seasons. During the rainy season, for example, transportation becomes an issue because the roads, due to bad roads and floods, that trucks cannot be able to get to certain locations on time. The movement of people, some research that we did and talked with some of the locals in Kenya who told us that there are certain times of the year that certain parties are organized in some regions, and these parties last for weeks. So it's a non-stop, like 1 week of partying, heavy drinking, and this kind of events can be something to look into. And some of these regions also have certain practices that, for example, we were told about a situation where if people adults get circumcised, and they get circumcised in a group, and everyone in this group has the right to sleep with the girlfriend or wife of anybody in that group for the rest of their life. So this kind of issues, this kind of practices can cause an issue, and that's why movement of people is important. The sexual behavior, like for not only for HIV drug resistance, but if you see how the sexually transmitted diseases, how the number of cases is fluctuating from one region to another, it gives an indication of people having unprotected sex, which can also be an indicator for likelihood of people also contracting HIV, drug resistance. So like the number of health units I talked about, like also the demographics from one region, from one county to another, the traditions are different. So around the lakes, they have the fisher. Some of the main occupation is you have a lot of like the fishermen, and there is also a practice of what we heard about of women having to sleep with them in order to get assurance that they would have supply for fish. The viral load can give us an indication of the fluctuation of the viral load can give us an indication of what is the level of drug resistant cases. Is it dropping? Is it increasing? And some socio-economical data and more proxies as we continue to, on one hand, to read articles from the top, the most important articles that come from Kenya, that we can get more insights, and as much insights that we get, we try to generate much more data to create a better, a bigger model. So thank you, and I'm also looking for enthusiastic people to join my team.
Excellent.
Any
Thank you.
questions?
That's the normal time of a presentation. Try to do it next time in 3-4 minutes. That would be perfect. Thank you. So next presentation. Everybody has been up for his presentation? No, I don't think so. There is no. You're not the last one because there is. Mathieu used to be the best looking one in here. He used for years being the best looking data scientist ever. Now we have Ludo. Ludo, can you please show your body to everybody? Ah, it's you. Oui, comme ça on t'entend.
Yes.
So I've asked Ludo to come here, not only to show himself, but also he has been part of a workshop that Eloa was organizing on how to become a good programmer, how to do a project, how to frame a project from A to Z, to have everything well documented. I've asked him to be here as an older brother for the teams that are going to do a project and to build that structure, a structure where you will start from data and then you augment that data and purify that data and then you will do some magics with some algorithms and then in the end you will end up with visualization part where the whole idea is that I'm taking the thunder.
Yeah, maybe I can. Yeah. As Philip said, I just finished a boot camp with Elewa, and it was on web development strategies from back end to front end. And recently, I've been really interested in data visualization. So we discussed today about my implication in the HIVHACK, and the idea would be to be a special team working specifically on visualization. And the tool I'm going to use for that is JavaScript and the library D3GS. Does anyone know this library? Okay, one more from my team. And so the idea is to be able to represent all your solutions, all the parameters you used, and the parameters that you didn't use, and to animate them through time on a map, a geographic map. So this is one aspect of the project, and the other aspect is that the final user should be able to add some data to that database. So that way they can investigate themselves, or they can investigate your solution, or you can investigate your solution. Only working with JavaScript and D3GS.
Excellent, thank you very much. So this was the last presentation. I would really like to thank everybody for being here. The guys from Data Stories, Libé for being here. If you haven't met Libé Shen yet, this is probably the most known data scientist in Belgium who developed her own company together with her husband, who was very successful, who worked all around the world with her solution. Taught at university, was one of the most horrible professor to because she was so demanding. It's nice to have you here, Liba, and it gives us some strength to have somebody of your quality here. So thank you for all of you as well, because without you this will not happen. Thank you for those who have not presented today but presented well last time. It's already 9. We slipped a bit in time. It's my fault. I should have kept the time. I didn't do it this time. I promise I'll be better in timekeeping next time. You still have some time to talk with each other, exchange ideas, have a beer. What I will be doing tomorrow is on the HIVHack.org website, in the section forum, I will already start putting the teams. So that, and then you can then reply to a team by saying, "Hey, I'm interested," and so that you can start connecting there on the forum. That's the easiest part, and then you will move on to your own messaging system afterwards. So by tomorrow you will be able to connect. I'm looking for help in organizing. I'm looking for jury members. I'm looking for good-looking experts like like Mathieu, because a hackathon also has to be organized, and the stronger we are in the team, the better the experience of the hackathon will be. Thank you very much for being here, and Elise and Jenny and everybody. Thank you.